Hello everyone, I am Layla was 27, an independent, hard-working woman with a flourishing career in a high-end marketing firm. She often spoke about her boss, Olivia Harrington, a woman known for her sharp intellect, impeccable professionalism, and intimidating presence. Mom, Layla began hesitantly that day, Olivia's been pushing me harder at work, but she's also been, surprisingly kind lately. I want her to see I'm more than just her employee. That's when I had the idea to host a small party at our house. A cozy evening with food, laughter, and good company. Surely, it would help Olivia see the person behind Layla's work ethic. Little did I know, Olivia's visit would unravel secrets and ignite conflicts I could never have imagined. The day of the party was bright and cheerful. I had spent hours preparing my famous chicken Alfredo, setting the dining table with fresh flowers, and arranging Layla's childhood photos subtly around the living room, hoping they'd spark a sense of pride in her boss. When Olivia arrived, she was everything I expected and more, tall, poised, and commanding the room with her mere presence. Her eyes scanned the house with a calculating gaze, but when they landed on me, something shifted. "Mrs. Khan," she greeted, extending her hand with a polite but firm grip. "You have a lovely home." At first, everything seemed normal. The other guests, a few family friends and Layla's colleagues, chatted away, and Olivia appeared to be enjoying herself. But as the evening progressed, I noticed Olivia's attention gravitating toward me. It started subtly, a compliment about my cooking, a comment about how Layla's warmth and resilience must have come from me. Then, during dinner, she leaned in and whispered, "You have an aura that's magnetic, Mrs. Khan. It's rare." Her words sent a shiver down my spine, though I brushed it off as her charismatic personality. But then, Olivia's behavior became undeniably peculiar. After dinner, while everyone else mingled, Olivia approached me with a glass of wine. Her eyes locked onto mine as she said, "Do you ever wonder, Mrs. Khan, if people really appreciate what you bring to their lives?" Her question caught me off guard. "I'm not sure what you mean," I replied cautiously. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. "Layla talks about you all the time. She admires you so much. But does she truly see you? Truly value everything you've sacrificed for her?" I glanced across the room at Layla, who was laughing with her friends, blissfully unaware of Olivia's intense gaze on me. As the evening wore on, Olivia's cryptic comments became more unsettling. Finally, when most of the guests had left, she approached me again. This time, there was no mistaking her intent. "Mrs. Khan, I don't want to sound inappropriate, but I feel like I've known you forever. Like we're connected in ways I can't explain," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I felt a wave of discomfort wash over me. "Olivia, I think you've had too much to drink," I said, trying to defuse the situation. But she shook her head, her eyes piercing into mine. "No, it's not the wine. It's you. You're extraordinary." Before I could respond, Layla walked in, her face a mixture of confusion and anger. "Olivia, what are you doing?" The tension in the room was palpable. Olivia turned to Layla, her expression softening. "Layla, I was just telling your mother how remarkable she is. You're lucky to have her." Layla's eyes narrowed. "This isn't professional, Olivia. You shouldn't be speaking to my mother like this." But Olivia didn't back down. "Professional? Layla, this isn't about work. This is about honesty, about recognizing someone who deserves so much more than what life has given her." At that moment, something inside me snapped. "Enough," I said, my voice trembling. "Olivia, I think it's time for you to leave." After Olivia left, the silence between Layla and me was deafening. Finally, she broke it. "Mom, I'm so sorry. I never expected her to act this way." I sighed, sinking into the couch. "Layla, there's nothing for you to apologize for. But you need to be careful around her. She's unpredictable." Over the next few weeks, Olivia's behavior at work became erratic. She started favoring Layla excessively, giving her high-profile projects and even dropping hints about promotions. Layla, however, saw through the facade. One day, Layla confronted Olivia directly. "I respect you as my boss, but I need boundaries. Whatever feelings you have, whether they're admiration or something else, you need to deal with them professionally." Olivia resigned shortly after, citing personal reasons. But before she left, she sent me a letter. In it, she confessed that meeting me had been a turning point in her life. She described me as a reminder of everything she had lost in her own mother, someone she had never been able to make amends with. The experience left me shaken but also reflective. People carry burdens we can't always see, and sometimes their actions are cries for help masked as inappropriate behavior. As for Layla, she thrived in her career, her relationship with me stronger than ever. And Olivia? Well, I'll never know where life took her, but I hope she found the closure she was searching for. Layla and I have always had a close relationship. After my husband passed away 5 years ago, we became each other's rock. Despite being fiercely independent, she always sought my advice on life and work. For months, Layla had been talking about Olivia Harrington, her boss. She spoke with a mix of admiration and fear. "She's so intimidating, Mom," Layla said one evening. "But she's brilliant. She pushes everyone, but she's fair, usually." One day, Layla came home, looking particularly stressed. "Olivia's been paying me so much attention lately," she said. "I think it's good for my career, but it's intense." Wanting to help, I suggested a dinner party. "Invite her to our home," I said. "Sometimes, seeing someone in a personal setting can break the ice. It might help her see the real you." Layla hesitated but eventually agreed. I went all out to prepare. Our home wasn't extravagant, but it was warm and welcoming. I spent the day cooking Layla's favorite dishes and tidying up, making sure everything was perfect. Layla kept checking her phone nervously. "She's usually punctual. I hope she doesn't cancel," she said, pacing. When the doorbell finally rang, Layla practically jumped. I opened the door to see Olivia, impeccably dressed in a tailored suit, holding a bouquet of flowers. "Good evening, Mrs. Khan," she said with a dazzling smile. "Thank you for inviting me." Her presence was magnetic. She carried herself with an air of authority, but her smile softened her sharp features. At first, everything seemed normal. Olivia charmed everyone with her wit and intelligence. She complimented my cooking and even joked about Layla's perfectionism. But then I noticed something odd. Olivia's attention seemed overly focused on me. She asked about my hobbies, my late husband, even how I managed to raise such a remarkable daughter on my own. "Layla's resilience must come from you," she said, her gaze lingering a little too long. "It's rare to meet someone with such strength and grace." I smiled politely, unsure how to respond. As the evening progressed, Olivia's behavior became more noticeable. She would find excuses to stand near me, touching my arm lightly when she spoke or looking at me in a way that felt too personal. During dinner, she raised a toast. "To Mrs. Khan," she said, holding her glass high.